in our healthcare system. Honorable Minister, you also talk about the operationalization of the health insurance program. I think we need an update on that because it's been a grapevine in the country. We need to know the strategies that you are doing in place and also its recruitment processes and how far have you gone in the establishment of the secretariat and also its operationalization. Honorable Minister, my final one is that is on 26. You talked about your response. We want to know the number of what are the timelines? What are the timelines for the implementation of those programs, and how soon are they going to do? And what will be your process in updating the National Assembly, especially the Health Committee, to know those timelines? Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Member for Kombo South. With regards to number 6, the response is that the Ministry of Justice is actually already looking at the reports and then will advise on the way forward with regards to the suggestion or the recommendation by the committee to pursue legal action against Maiden Pharmaceuticals for exporting contaminated drugs to the Gambia. So the Ministry of Justice is actually reviewing that. And I think I can say at this juncture that already he's in touch with a world-renowned law firm that has expertise with these kind of issues. The engagements have already started and series of meetings have started with regards to what to do next. So they are putting forward a strong team to look into this. But however, subsequent actions that will take place are awaiting the submission of the report of the government inquiry to the government. As soon as those report comes, then the further actions will be taken care of. Now, I think by extension, it's a similar thing on 26, if I could continue, because it talks about the timelines. We are expecting that report very soon. In fact, what we are told is within it's difficult to say since it's not under our control, but we've been given assurance that it wouldn't take time for us to get that report. And that report will make some of those recommendations, we believe, and then we'll take action, government will take action appropriately. Now, with regards to the operationalization of the primary health care, it's actually inherent in government strategy for the provision of universal health coverage, because we believe it's going to be very difficult for us to attain universal health coverage without strengthening primary health care in the country. So primary health care is very pivotal in our overall strategy. Already, stakeholders have met a couple of years ago, and a document has been produced, which is a costed document, which is titled The Revitalization of Primary Healthcare in the Country. So some steps have been taken. However, the financial constraints, the funding constraints are the main issue why it is not being rolled out, because it also requires employing more people, more community health workers in the communities. But the government intends to ensure that all the about 2,000 villages and towns in this country become key primary healthcare villages, because it's only about half, a little less than half, that are key primary healthcare villages in the country. But with the benefit that is derived from having those people in the communities, those people that people could run to with minor ailments, they could detect a whole lot of things. They could tell people when there are danger signs for them to go to the health facilities. We believe there shouldn't be a key or non-key village. All villages should be key villages, because if one village benefits from it, then certainly the other village can equally benefit from it. So this is our strategy. At another level, we have put this forward in a meeting with the United States partners, the United States Secretary for Health. We had an engagement with them, and we said as a country priority, revitalization of primary health care is very high on our agenda, and they did promise that they're going to look at it to see how they can support that process.
Thank you.
The health insurance, as we know, what was going on was the registration for the health insurance scheme. But at the same time, knowing that we also needed to get for the citizens an electronic birth registration or electronic birth certificate, we thought it wise to do it together. And I'm sure you'll all agree with us that it is time-saving, and it has cut the cost drastically, the fact that we did the two together. Otherwise, one would have had to do one and then go and spend almost the same amount of resources to do the other. And as we speak, over 1 million Gambians have already been registered, have gotten their health insurance card and also the birth certificate. Now, that is the registration. The enrollment proper, the targeted date for that is June of this year. That is, so the team, the insurance authority, which has already been established, is actually now trying to mobilize funds to ensure that the insurance fund also has the funds that are in there. So they are talking to partners. Now, the last time there was a meeting with our select committee for health to see, and the finance minister as well was summoned here with all of us to see how we could, ensure that the funds are available for the operationalization of the health insurance come June. World Bank equally wants to support, we have been told, but their support is actually dependent on government putting in resources first, because otherwise they said they would not come on board. So we are hoping that happens. But the targeted date for operationalization is June of this year, inshallah. The authority has been established already. There is a health insurance board, and then there is a health insurance authority. They have a CEO, and they are now in the process of recruiting other portfolio holders in the agency. So they are now building their staff pool together. They are temporarily housed at the Medical and Dental Council building along the Battle Harding Way. So they have structures now, and they are expanding those structures. I hope I've answered everything.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Honourable Minister, thank you. Member for Janyamure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Minister. Thank you very much for your responses. But then, if I may ask from question number 26 with your response, what I want to establish here is what are the state of the surviving children that the ministry were following up with? What are their state? And also, from your situational report, which is the 2023 March situational report of Ministry of Health, I think you did report of 2 other cases. And if it is true, can you kindly buttress on it, please? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. The surviving children are still being followed up. They've been going to the health facilities to be seen, Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and the Medical Research Council. Now, there is, they have a coordinator, who, Mr. Sanya, who has been very, very supportive, who is in touch with all of us, including myself and the Director for Health Services, and is equally in touch with the families of the surviving children and the other families of the deceased children as well. And he facilitates each time they are supposed to go for treatment or for follow-up. He coordinates it, and he has access to I myself. He calls me and we communicate, and I myself follow up their welfare with regards to the treatment. So that is happening. And equally speaking, the member for Banjul North, who is also been quite active, we all communicate to follow up the issue of the surviving children. The second question was what again?
Honourable Minister?
Yes, the two cases, yes.
What?
Yes.
What was the second? Honourable Minister, please.
Yes.
What was the second question?
Honourable Speaker, do you want me to come back?
The second question. Minister is not... maybe he must have forgotten.
The second question is on the situational report for March 2023. It has been reported that there were 2 cases of AKI. I just want you to enlighten us about the new 2 cases.
Honourable Member, is that part of the Minister's statement?
Honourable Speaker, if you look at his response on number 26, he did reported about the survival of some children and that the ministry are following up with. And as such, I definitely think it is also important to link my question to his response. Thank you.
No, Honourable Member, that one is not part of the minister's statement. Sorry about that.
Honourable Speaker, I think it is, because looking at his response, he talked about children that actually survived from the AKI. And also looking at the situational report of Ministry of Health, it is clearly reported that there are 2 new cases that have been reported. So why can't he really give us a response as a parliament?
No, Honourable Member. No, that's not part of his statement. The member for Banjul Central?
No, I just want to also appeal to you by using your discretion, because
sorry. Banjul Central first.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, with regards to number 22, which says that all medicine products should be subjected to screening before release into the market for distribution until the tail end. And from the response, it said that this is currently a big challenge for most countries, and that the WHO recommends random sampling and testing of 5 to 10% of products. What are the current mechanisms we are using at our discretion with the available resources that we have currently in terms of the sampling aspect? What are the procedural?
Thank you very much. Actually, the standard practice and based on WHO recommendation, the information we got and what has been happening, what we also know, is actually that you can hardly find any country that tests 100% of the products that come into the country. This is what happens. However, most countries do what is called risk-based testing and regular random sampling. When they do regular random sampling, because they go into the communities unannounced and they go and pick any sample, any drug sample and test, that keeps people on their toes because they don't know when the regulators are going to come. They equally do not know what sample is going to be selected. So for that reason, everybody will try to ensure that the products are safe to the best of their ability. But of course, product safety is not only dependent on the people who are distributing it. In fact, most of it probably depends on where it is manufactured from. So this is the standard. Now, when we had this very difficult incident in the Gambia, we thought we even needed to be more aggressive. Then we asked the WHO for help to test, in fact, all the syrups for us in this country and other medications for us in this country. And samples were taken, over 100 samples have already been taken and sent outside for testing. And the results have come for most of them, and we're still continuing to do that. So this has been our strategy. Now, for our government-imported medicines, in fact, we decided that everything should be tested, 100%. It is difficult because some of the medicines, we need them. They are in country, but we are waiting for test results because we just think that this was a very bad experience for our country, and we don't want to see any repeat of this. So that is what is happening now. But it is difficult, I must say. Apart from the cost, the testing process itself takes time in the laboratories. And these labs were also not there just waiting to receive samples from the Gambia. They are doing it for their own local market in their country. They are doing it probably for other countries because they are WHO accredited labs. So it is difficult when they get this huge number of samples from the Gambia to process them all at the same time that we want them. So we put a lot of pressure on them to ensure that they get it done. But certain things take actually, by nature of the way they are done. Sorry, sir?
Honorable Minister, I suggest that you summarize. We have about 15 more members who wish to question, and we have only 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, so by nature of the processes, because they have to follow the standard processes, test for one, when they see something, they follow it up and follow it up on something. If they don't see, they also continue to test for others. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Point of order.
Member for Fonyi Binta.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Yes.
From the member for Central Baribo, can we hear that point of order?
Point of order 48. Clause 6.
Yes, 48 clause
After
6.
a statement has been delivered in the Assembly, a period of questions on the statement, which shall last no more than 1 hour, may then ensue. The Speaker shall determine the period taken into consideration, the content of the statement, the number of members wishing to ask questions, and the pressure of other business. What the Honorable Member of Janjanbureh asked was 2 Akai cases that were reported. So he asked the Minister to make clarification on that. It's connected to 26 of the statement. The government should provide compensation to the families of deceased and surviving children. So he wants the Minister to tell the House whether that too is part of it or not. So they are connected.
No, Honorable Member, you are wrong.
I'm wrong. I'm out of order, but I'm not wrong.
You are out of order. Honorable Member, thank you. Honorable Member, you are out of order. The member for Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, referring to number 6, the government should consider pursuing legal actions against Medin Pharmaceutical for exporting contaminated drugs into the Gambia. And now looking at the response says the Ministry of Justice is already looking at the report for advice on the way forward. Looking at for how long? Now, since December, if I can remember the last session that we had, January, February, did they have a problem in their vision, or what is happening? Can you tell us, please?
Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, we are all aware that the government set up a committee of inquiry into the issues. And the report of that committee is being awaited as well. Government has gotten the report of the National Assembly Select Committee for Health, which is what we are discussing today. Government is also waiting for the other one to look at their findings, which may also add value to what is going to take place. Typically, without some further information, it will be even difficult to pursue legal action. So you certainly need some basic information, which would have been a collation of all the findings from the various reports that will give a legal ground for the pursuance of any legal route. So this is what is happening. Now, when that entity will submit their report, I certainly do not know. But from the indications we had from people, that probably they will do so soon. This is what we had. Yeah, thank you.
Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister. On document number 23, and in your response with regards to the QC test that will be borne by the importer, my question is it currently happening? If no, when will we start? And also, will be responsible of the monitoring aspect of it?
Sorry, kindly repeat that.
On the QC test that will be borne by the importer.
Yes.
Is it currently happening?
Yes.
Are they currently borne the cost of the test? If no, when will it start? And also, who is responsible of the monitoring aspect of it? Because if it is sent for testing,
yes,
are they going to be responsible, or the government is responsible to monitor whether they did the proper test?
Yeah, so the QC tests are continuing, and the registration processes are continuing. But of course, the volumes are large. You remember there was a time that there was a lot of outcry that the MCA quarantined a lot of drugs, and they insisted on those drugs being tested. So the QC test is going on still, and the importers are bearing the cost. However, they are complaining. In fact, just before I came yesterday, we received a written letter, a letter from copied to us, written to MCA by a lawyer of one of the importers with regards to those kinds of stringent measures, indicating that they'll be detrimental to the smooth flow of medications. They may end up causing a rise in the cost of the medicines, because eventually they will add all that to the cost of the medicines and so on and so forth. But it's still going on. And that of the government drugs, government is paying for them. So Ministry of Finance is supporting us to pay for the government, the drugs that are imported. Yes.
Minister, please. Member follow the rest.
Very much, Honorable Minister, for fulfilling Standing Order 100, subsection 1. Honorable Speaker, I will refer you to question or to respond 26, number 26 of the response by the Honorable Minister, that talks about surviving children. Even though my comrade have asked a question, but I will ask a different one. I will want to know, Honorable Minister, whether, as far as
a different one on his statement.
Different from what?
No, it must be on his statement.
No, it is on the statement I'm talking about. Yeah. So what I want to know is, as part of the surviving children, do we have any critical situation whereby it will require any overseas treatment? If yes, what is your ministry willing to do as far as that situation is concerned? Within the response also, you talk about pending report of the inquiries set up by the government. When are you expecting this report? Because as we all understand currently, when it comes to the victims, it is very important for the government to do something as far as the compensation is concerned.
Honorable, please don't make statements. Just stop at the question.
Yeah,
those two questions.
Can you please allow me, Honorable?
Yeah, please. Those two questions will suffice. Please.
Okay, fine. So, like I said, if there is any critical situation by the surviving children, if there is any case, what is your ministry willing to do as far as helping them to go for overseas treatment as far as their situation is concerned? The other one has to do with the submission of the report by the government. How soon can we expect this? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honourable Member. With regards to the surviving children, they are being followed up, and if any of them happens to need treatment that is not available here, it will be taken up, and then the government will do the best to ensure that the person gets treatment anywhere that is feasible, including outside the country. Yes. Overseas treatment, yes. Yes. The second question, with regards to the report, we've been told the report will be ready soon. This is an independent committee. We don't have any control over them. Their work is independent, so it's difficult to say that they are going to be ready this week or next week. All we've been told is soon it will be ready, and we are actually all looking forward to the report, so we know what to do next. But inshallah, it will be made available soon. Thank you.
Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Minister, the heading of the report, you have at least 66 children died as a result of the HAI. Can you inform this Assembly precisely the actual number of children that have died so far? And in the report, one of the response, again on the surviving children, can you inform this August Assembly the number of surviving children that are currently receiving or undergoing treatment?
Honorable, I want to limit it to two. Because of, yes, time, we have time constraint.
Well, these are not that very statement. Government is reviewing the reports. Allow this one. Government is reviewing the reports. Week report beside the report of the committee. Which other reports is the government reviewing?
Yeah, thank you very much, Member for Brikama North. Now, with regards to the AKI statistics, cumulatively, there are 130 cases now, but these are categorized based on the case definitions. So 84 are confirmed AKI cases, and 6 are probable cases, and 40 are suspected cases, with all various definitions. Now, with regards to the confirmed deaths total 72. Now, that's a case fatality rate of 85.7. This is with regards to the statistics. Some are categorized as community-acquired acute kidney injury cases. So AKI has been a known disease well before now. What that means is that we are still likely to see AKI cases,
Yes, I said government is reviewing the reports. where you have the response, government is reviewing the reports. I say, beside the report of the committee, which other report or reports is the government reviewing?
Which question is it again?
Minister, you know in your response.
Page 8.
Yes.
On top.
Yes.
In your response,
26.
you indicated that...
The response to 26.
Yes.
Indicated that government is reviewing reports. So which reports he is asking, beside the National Assembly's Select Committee's report?
So, what about... okay. The total number, I think I was informed of 3. We were seeing 3 of them, the representative, and also the member for Banjul North has been very instrumental. He's been in touch with us, also supporting their issues, and I myself, with my team, have been facilitating that. Thank you. Now, but as we say, when we talk about survivors in such, and we have a large number of 130 being cumulative cases, and then we have 40 suspected cases and 6 probable cases. What that typically means is, apart from the 72, all these ones are survivors or probable survivors, because they were probable cases and some were suspected cases. So in the real sense, they could also have survived the AKI. This is what it means. That's why I gave you the total number being 130 and the 72 being the mortality. But of course, if you go, typically the people who have been followed up now are these 3 people that I'm aware of that have been seen by the doctors. Yeah, thank you.
Member for Sanimentering.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of Health. With reference to your question or your response to number 4, which is the university has already agreed to process and World Bank is ready to support the process. The postgraduate committee at Edward Francis Teaching Hospital has been supporting in the process. On what basis is the World Bank ready to support this?
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. What we are trying to say is the establishment of a school of pharmacy in this country is long overdue. Probably that contributes to the challenges we have with the very scarce number of pharmacists in this country. Now, the World Bank has been instrumental in supporting our postgraduate studies in the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. So what the bank has done for us is recruiting the faculty members. So as we speak to you, the World Bank is paying for, I think, 16 very senior consultants, very senior doctors and professors who are brought from the sub-region, mainly Ghana and Nigeria, and they are all working at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital here. And it has been very beneficial, I must tell, this August gathering, because these are high-level doctors who are providing services to Gambians here, but equally speaking, they are providing, they are also training the young doctors. On the side of the nurses, they are supporting us, they are paying for the tuition of nurses who are specializing in anesthesia, equally speaking, nurses who are specializing in perioperative nursing and pediatrics, because we want our nurses to specialize. So with this background, we approach World Bank again, that if the country has such a problem of not more than 25 pharmacists qualified pharmacists for the whole country. We also need a school of pharmacy, and they are willing to support it in a similar vein as they are supporting the other ones that I have just mentioned.
Thank you.
And this we have to do in conjunction with the university and the medical school. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I have another question. I have to.
Please.
Can you please allow me to ask three?
Please. We have 10 minutes to go, and we.
Can I ask one more then?
I still have about 6 more on my list. Please, 10 minutes. We have 6 more.
Can I ask one more, if not?
I apologize.
Sorry?
I apologize, please.
Thank you.
Member for Fonyi Jarol.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Minister, let me refer you to recommendation 10. And I read that government to equip the hospitals with required medical products, supplies for the effective and efficient management of patients. And in your response, this is an ongoing process. The new health insurance scheme will help to enhance this with other support from government and its partners. I don't know if the common complaint by people if you visit health centers, health posts, or hospitals is there are inadequate drugs or shortages of drugs. This is a common complaint by all patients who visit hospitals. I don't know what is your take in that, and then what are the challenges you are facing?
Availability of drugs in health.
Drugs in hospitals. There is always shortages. People complain of shortage of drugs.
Is that part of his statement?
Huh? Pardon?
Part of his statement?
Yes, he said it's an ongoing process to equip it. The supply is an ongoing process of drugs to hospitals. But people are complaining.
For the AKI?
No. I mean, look at 10. Recommendation 10.
Okay. Minister, please respond. And I suggest that you summarize. Time is increasingly of the essence.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Member, thank you for that question. I think from the starting point, what we spend on health care as a country is grossly inadequate. From the beginning, we know that what is allocated for the procurement of drugs will certainly lead to shortage at some point during the year before the next allocation. That is clear, because what is recommended for essential drug supply is at least $2 per person per annum. And in Gambia, what we spend is not even up to $1 per person per annum. So that's from the onset we know that there's going to be shortage. Healthcare is very expensive. And I keep on saying the human body is the same as it is in the Gambia, as it is in the UK, as it is in New York, and so on. But we see what those facilities, those hospitals, those countries spend in one health facility. Sometimes what they spend in one health facility, one big hospital, is much more than our entire national budget for health, what those countries spend in one facility. So how can we make ours like those ones? It's going to be very difficult. However, with the meager resources, we think if we manage prudently, we'll be able to provide the drugs. But I think availability of drugs has to go beyond the resources alone. The procurement process of drugs in this country is very cumbersome. Now, each year there is a quantification process, what we are likely to need. We know the budget says this is what we have. We have quantified this. It's more than what we need, but this is what we have. And the tenders are floated. Advertisements take place for a period. When that happens, people show interest, bids are evaluated. When the bids are evaluated, then a winner is selected, a standstill period, then he is given time to supply. From what I have seen, sometimes people bid and they don't have the capacity. But unfortunately, they are said to be the winner. GPPA rules are followed and they are the winner, and GPPA insists that they have to be given the contract. But they don't have capacity, and as time goes on, those things surface. But of course, these drugs also have to be manufactured from other countries after these people have won the bids. Then they package them, they ship them. So a lot of times there are delays in shipment and so on and so forth. The current challenges we had because of the COVID-19 pandemic, every now and then the supplier will say the shipment got late, there were no containers. That time that there was container shortage worldwide, that time that there was shipping delay. So this past year has been very, very difficult. It has been one of the most difficult periods for drug supplies in the country because of these things that I've enumerated.
Thank you.
So I think we need to revamp the whole supply chain mechanism for drugs in this country.
Thank you. Member for
Honorable Speaker, but I have one urgent thing just to add to this, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Minister.
Yes. You see, but to make that all, to lessen the impact, the World Bank is also supporting again, and the Gambia government is giving little support there, counterpart funding. The World Bank has this results-based financing, and this results-based financing has been very instrumental. Each quarter, each of our health facilities is scored, and then they are paid an amount of money. And then 40% of that is for the staff to share as bonuses. 60% is for the renovation of the health facility and procurement of drugs. So this is very useful, but my appeal is you also add your weight in helping us ensure that these facilities also put this to good use. Yes, we are doing our best with monitoring, but being assembly members from those regions, I think it will also add value if you support. I'll give you an example. One of the quarters, Brikama here, got up to $4.2 million to spend in this way. So I don't think there should be any reason why Brikama, you should go there and the toilets are not working, and the rooms are not painted, and some of these basic drugs are not available. So, member for Brikama North and South, these are some of the things. So we'll be sharing this information with you so that you can also help us following up what goes into the health facilities in your communities.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
The member for Bundung-Kakunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I also want to ask almost the same question, point number 10, but I have to reframe it. Basically, as we know, medical product and supplies is for the effective and efficient management of patients. So what is the current status of the medical product and supply in our public hospitals, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So as we speak, quite a lot of drugs are available. There are some gaps still, but quite a number of consignments have also been received, and they are awaiting distribution, but they are actually being tested. So what we are trying to do is to expedite the testing process, because we don't want any drug to get into the system that has problems.
Thank you.
I think we have all, as a country, gone through enough problems, so that is why. The last time we had a lot of normal saline, that is the drip fluid, the mainly used one, but we insisted that they all get tested. Unfortunately, they got tested and they are free, they are safe for use, and they are being distributed. So this is why there is some delay. But the RBF, unfortunately, this resource-based financing, which used to be in the provinces from Kalaji, the western region was not getting it at all, West Coast, but fortunately we've included them now, so the entire country is getting this RBF for all the facilities. I think that is a big plus, yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now, last, I will give the floor to the member for Fonyi Brefet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, let me refer you back to the response of question number 10. Honorable Minister, are you telling us that the new health insurance scheme enhances the supply of medical products for patient management? What is the relationship between the health insurance scheme and hospital equipment, as well as medicine?
Okay. Thank you very much. So the way the health insurance scheme is going to operate, the hospitals will be enrolled. For example, if we say Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, the insurance authority will ensure that they are able to provide these quality services that they say they are going to. So in fact, it's going to be competitive. There has to be standards that are supposed to be maintained, and the insurance will have people, quality control officers, whose role is to ensure that standards are there. The hospitals are clean enough, the patients are seen on time, and so on and so forth. And they are all equipped for the function they are supposed to perform. If it's a teaching hospital, if it's a minor health center, if it's a major health center, and that their lab is functioning, and then they have the drugs. They will provide services. For example, they treat a patient gets to the hospital and then has symptoms of malaria. The patient sees the doctor, then they prescribe for the patient. He goes to the lab as well, then they prescribe. All that will be put into a bill. The hospital will now send this bill to the insurance authority, and the insurance authority will reimburse the hospital. So the fact that the hospitals will have direct access to those funds for drugs, then they are forced to buy drugs, because if they don't buy drugs, they will not be part of the insurance scheme. And the insurance, everybody wants to be part of the insurance scheme. So they are going to ensure that there are checks and balances, so that service provision is available. And the fact that insurance will pay for even a tablet of paracetamol that is issued out to a patient, then there's no basis for shortage of paracetamol in that facility. This is how it will help us. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I want to thank you sincerely for coming to reply to the report and to answering questions from honorable members. I equally want to thank members of the National Assembly who asked questions and for their participation. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you. Clerk, we may proceed.
Orders 74 and 75, third reading of the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Honorable members will recall that the consideration stage of the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023 was concluded on Thursday, 23rd March 2023. Accordingly, today is appointed for the third reading in accordance with Order 75. Therefore, I will invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice to move a motion for the third reading of the bill entitled Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that the Mutual Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023, having gone through consideration stage, be read the third time. I move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Or Woolley is?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023, having gone through the consideration stage with amendments, be read a third time and passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Order 72, continuation on the consideration stage of the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Thank you, Clerk. Honourable members, the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill has now passed. Honourable members, it is almost 1:30. Clerk, please.
Sorry. Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Bill 2023.
The bill is deemed to have been read third time and passed. Clerk.
Order 72, continuation of the consideration stage on the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
I'm not sure. It is now 1:20. Whether we can break up briefly for prayers and come back so that when we start, we will. Please, so that, because you know what I want to avoid. Once the House is suspended, once the House is resolved to the Committee of Stages, we'll just continue. We'll not have. Please, the House now suspended until. The House now suspended until 2:15.